Good morning, everyone. It's Bianca Vanessa. I thought I would come on here and start making a video. We just got our backyard set up and it's sunny, so now I finally get to sunbathe whenever I want, and it's wonderful. I'm really excited because I wanted to announce a few things before I got started with this video. The first thing is that my website is under construction, and this summer I am going to start seeing my clients again, which I did take a 2-year break from because of pregnancy and postpartum. But now I'm just really excited to get back into it. The other thing is I just signed a brand partnership with Thorne supplements, which is just awesome because I've been using Thorne to heal so many of my ailments, from anemia to insomnia. So I'm so excited to share that with you guys soon, and I have a meeting today, and it's just really cool that I get to do this as a job again because I really missed it, and it was just really fulfilling being able to help people heal with the power of food and nutrition and holistic wellness. So what I wanted to talk about today, which was part of a viral reel that I had posted a few months ago, was how I healed my postpartum depression naturally. And I guess I'll go ahead and get started with what life was like after I had a baby. Well, I guess before. So when I was pregnant, I didn't think much about the postpartum period because I was very focused on pregnancy. I did have a difficult pregnancy for the first 16 weeks. I had nausea and morning sickness, which was really debilitating. And then during the second and third trimester, I started feeling a lot better and gave birth in July, on July 5th. So my baby is almost a year old. And I had a very difficult labor, regardless of the prep I did, regardless of all the juices and the dates and the pregnancy Pilates. My labor was 48 hours long. I didn't have an epidural until 24 hours. And my baby was born with a nuchal cord, swallowed meconium, and was born with a vacuum. So it was a difficult labor for the both of us, but thankfully we breastfed well for the first 3 or 4 months. But I will say, this is usually what I say, is that motherhood hit me in the face in a way that I didn't expect it to. I didn't, and this sounds so naive, it's because I was naive when I was pregnant. I had never really been around babies before. And the sleep deprivation was on a different level that I just was not aware of. I feel like people say, oh, you'll be sleep deprived, and then you are. Or I guess people say you'll be sleep deprived and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I won't sleep. And it sounds funny, and it's like, okay, yeah, just a statement. But once you really go through sleep deprivation, it is a war level type of sleep deprivation. I remember waking up and feeling dizzy from being so extremely exhausted and crying because my baby wouldn't nap, which meant I wouldn't be able to nap. And not really having a village here. My mom and my mother-in-law helped us for the first 2 weeks, and then it was mostly just me and my husband on our own. And I ended up having to quit my job, and taking care of a baby 24/7 is really intense, and I feel like a lot of parents aren't aware of what stay-at-home moms go through when you don't have help, and it's just like this constant cycle. I started feeling really depressed. I started feeling like maybe I had made a mistake by having a baby so soon. But I realized that I was the lowest I had ever felt. I felt helpless. I felt hopeless. The only way I would feel better was if I had coffee. And then once the coffee wore off in the afternoon, I was back to being depressed and tearful and weepy. And I think a lot of this came from losing my independence, because before I would go to hot yoga, I would run, I would make juices, and I would make my smoothies, and I couldn't make my juices and smoothies because they were too loud for the baby, and I couldn't go for a run because I just had a baby 2 months before. I couldn't go to hot yoga because I didn't have anyone to take care of him. So it was a very crumbling time for me. Even though I had the best gift I've ever had, I still felt very depressed and like I completely lost myself. And again, I think it's one thing to hear a mom say that, completely different thing to go through it. So if you're a mom and you feel like that's your experience, I am with you. I totally understand what that feels like. So I was depressed. I reached out to my OB-GYN and I told her how I was feeling, and she diagnosed me with postpartum depression. And I didn't want to take medication. I did a few sessions of therapy, which did help. But I realized, like, I am a holistic nutritionist. I deal with this. I've dealt with it before. I know I can heal my body through foods. So it wasn't so much food that changed, but for me, it was a lot of the strategy that I was doing. So up until that point, I wasn't eating breakfast. I was waking up and having a little bag of lactation cookies and calling that breakfast and coffee. And I quickly realized that that wasn't working for me. So I began incorporating more balanced meals. I wasn't a high raw vegan at the time, so I began having eggs and yogurt with fruit and switching to matcha. And I noticed that my mood was a lot more stable. And another thing I incorporated that I really believe healed me were daily stroller walks with my baby in the sun. No sunscreen, getting as much sun as I possibly could. At the time it was maybe September, October, November, so it's still pretty warm here in Texas. So that really, really helped me, and I looked forward to that morning walk while my baby napped, and I had my matcha, and I was full, and I was getting some sort of exercise. And it was nice because the place we lived in had a nature trail, the Austin Greenbelt, so I was in nature pretty much every morning, which was amazing. The other thing I incorporated was saffron. So using saffron was life-changing, and I heard about saffron from Dr. Josh Axe, who talked about the healing effects of saffron for depression. And I'll go ahead and link some studies below. And I am now a huge believer in saffron. I think within 3 days of taking saffron, my mood was elevated but stable. I didn't feel like full of energy. I just felt happy, less anxious, and more ready to tackle being a mom instead of feeling crushed by it. So saffron was really good, and I'll link the saffron that I used below. The other thing is that at night I couldn't fall asleep, and when my baby would wake up, I would wake up, feed him, but then I couldn't fall asleep again because I was wondering when he would wake up again, and so the sleep was just horrible. So I decided to start taking magnesium and melatonin, which helped me fall asleep fast and helped me go back to sleep faster if I had to wake up and feed my baby. And getting exercise. So I did a lot of gentle exercise from months 3 to 6. I did really, really slow stroller jogs, mostly walking. I did a little bit of yoga. I did some lightweight dumbbells, just something to get my heart rate up. I was a little frustrated because I wasn't sweating as much as I wanted to. But as the months went on and I intensified my workouts, I started to sweat and detox more, which made me feel so much better. So the exercise definitely played a role in it. So I would say those few things. It was waking up and having a balanced breakfast, quitting caffeine, fixing my sleep hygiene, getting raw sunlight, getting stroller walks, and gentle exercise. I think doing all those things helped me feel more in control as a stay-at-home mom, and it just helped me heal. I can tell you right now, in the past 6 months, I have not been depressed because of motherhood. I did, get low mood because I was working at a pretty tough job that thankfully I let go of. But other than that, for the past 3 months, I've been feeling great, and I feel a lot more like my old self. I have family helping to take care of my baby, so I'm able to do my YouTube and my nutrition business. I'm able to exercise, and just asking for that help has made a world of difference. So I'm really grateful for how that's all turned out. if you are interested in learning more in depth of how I healed my postpartum depression, I am in the process of making a really awesome course that I'm so excited about. And I'm also in the process of setting up my Thorn supplement page, which, like I said, I have a meeting right now to do. And once I get that website started, I'll start making that announcement. So make sure you're checking out my Living by Fruit Instagram for those announcements. And I will be seeing clients one-on-one, which you can go ahead and schedule on the Calendly, which I'll go ahead and post here. This is how it'll look on my website. It's super accessible, and I'm so excited to get that started again. So thank you guys for watching my YouTube video, and I look forward to hearing from you guys soon.